My dear brothers and sisters in Christ, today we've reached the 15th Sunday in Ordinary Time. Jesus is making lots of disciples. His disciples themselves are also assisting in the mission of proclaiming the kingdom. And a scholar of the law wants to challenge Jesus. And so he asks him, Teacher, which is the greatest of the commandments? And Jesus quotes something that would have been common. He quotes the Shema, Deuteronomy 6:4. Hear, O Israel, the Lord your God is God alone. Therefore you shall love the Lord your God with all your heart, mind, soul, and strength. But then he says, the second is like it. You shall love your neighbor as yourself. But to test Jesus, the scholar of the law says, well, who is my neighbor? Jesus answers with a famous parable of the Good Samaritan. A man is left beaten, half dead, lying in the road, having been assailed by robbers and brigands. And that's a dangerous road along the road to Jericho. And a priest and a Levite see him, and they do nothing. And they walk by. And a Samaritan, someone who would have been hated by the Jews, sees the man and assists him. And he bandages him up, puts oil in his wounds, puts him on his own animal, takes him to the inn, gives 2 small coins for the man at the inn, and says, promises to pay back even more if any more is owed. And Jesus asks the scholar, who is neighbor to him? And the scholar of the law says, the one who treated him with compassion. Jesus says, you go and do likewise. There are many interpretations of this passage because the man lying half dead, beaten in the road could be any man. He doesn't have a name. It's all of us. And we have been beaten by the robbers and brigands who are the devil and his minions. And we are left half dead there and in great need. Jesus Christ is the Good Samaritan who comes and he pours the oil of his mercy into our wounds. He bandages us up, puts us on his own animal, really carries us on his back like a lamb, takes us to the inn, which is the church, where we can recover our health and be restored. He gives 2 coins, his divinity and humanity, his whole self, for our well-being and restoration, so that we can live again and live in a response of gratitude and love. Christ is the Good Samaritan. On the other hand, others have interpreted this parable in a different way. The priest and the Levite, it's not that they didn't care about the man lying half dead and beaten in the road. That was a very dangerous road. But they were asking a particular question. What will happen to me if I stop to help him? Perhaps I too will be beaten and robbed and left half dead. What will happen to me is the question that they are asking. On the other hand, the Samaritan, he is asking a different question. He is asking, what will happen to him if I do not stop to help? And so he stops to help because he's genuinely concerned about the man who is wounded. So often we see people in our own family self-destructing with alcohol, with drugs, with sexual behaviors, and we do nothing. We never offer corrections. We see people who have racist or prejudicial attitudes, and we never say a word. Maybe we are too timid. Maybe we are wondering, maybe I will lose a friend. What if I don't take a stand? But if we're not going to take a stand with these important issues regarding human life or within our family, when are we going to take a stand? Truth and living the truth in love and telling the other person the truth in love is never wrong. In fact, it's not charitable to allow someone to self-destruct. It's not charitable to allow someone to continue to remain wounded and watch them bleed to death. No, we have a special obligation to propose the truth in love, to be charitable in our speech and in our deeds. So when we find someone truly poor, truly sick, we tend to them. Jesus asks, who was neighbor to him? The one who treated him with compassion. You go and do likewise. Pope Francis in Fratelli Tutti meditated a lot on the parable of the Good Samaritan. Kelly Henderson, who runs Catholic Social Services of the Diocese of Columbus, Kelly often talks about being a good neighbor. This is our responsibility, to love God and to love our neighbor. This week, try to be a good neighbor. Try to be a better neighbor to all those around you, even those whom you might not know. Go and do likewise. This is the command of the Lord.